Hello, good morning, and welcome to day 1 of Morning Magic. This is a 7-day journey of intention setting and mindful living. We're starting each day with an intention, moving with it in a short yoga practice, and then taking that intention out into our day. Today is day 1, and our intention for today is grounding. Grounding ourselves into the present moment, into the here and now, and taking that with us into our day. For this morning's practice, you will need a yoga block. Just one should be okay. So go ahead, grab your block, unroll your mat, and I will meet you in Tadasana mountain pose, standing at the top of your mat. Alrighty, so come join me, Tadasana at the top of your mat. For this Tadasana, we're going to take our yoga block and place it right in between the thighs. So your feet may or may not touch, depending on how thick your block is. Not super important that the feet touch. Allow them to be as wide as feels comfortable for you. And I'd like you to lift all 10 toes up off the mat. Feel how that starts to wake up the arches of the feet and the ankles, sort of like your feet become these suction cups on the earth. And then imagine that your suction cups are pulling up the earth's energy up through your legs. So the energy of the earth is really steady and it's heavy, it's grounded, yeah. So imagine pulling that up through the legs, so bringing sort of this elegant length up through the legs. Allow the toes to rest back on the earth as you keep this activation in the ankles. The kneecaps will pull up towards the hips so the quadriceps become active, and begin to gently press in towards your towards your block. So there's sort of this gentle internal rotation to the legs. Allow the pubic bone to pull up towards the navel so the lower belly firms up. So again, this earth energy is traveling up your body, so filling you with this sense of really grounded energy. Allow the shoulder blades to pull back and down, and feel that there's sort of a gentle tug coming from the crown of the head, pulling you skyward, so that you're standing really, really nice and tall, so the energy is pulling upward, but at the same time, you are firmly planted and grounded down towards the earth. Take a moment here to close down the eyes. And you can begin to say silently to yourself, I am here fully. Inhaling, I am. Exhaling, here fully. Inhale, I am. Exhale, here fully. Taking just a couple more rounds of breath to ground yourself into this present moment. And from here, you can keep the eyes closed or you can open them if you'd like. We're just going to lift the arms up next to the ears. And you're going to take hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Inhale to lengthen high towards the sky. And as you exhale, lean towards the right. So continue to feel really grounded in both feet as you extend through the right fingertips, sending the breath into the right side of the body. Inhale to lift back to center, taking hold of left wrist with the right hand. Take an inhale here to lengthen. And as you exhale, lean over towards the left. Notice if you've lost some of the activation in the legs. See if you can keep them really active, rooting down through the feet as you open through the left side. Inhale back to center. Release the arms. And you can move the block out from in between your thighs. Place it off to the side. Go ahead and bring the big toes to touch, finding your Tadasana mountain pose. So again, find that same activation in the legs, that same sense of rooting down, and at the same time rising up. From here, we're going to inhale to lift the arms up high. And as you exhale, fold over the legs, hinging at the hips, coming into a forward fold. And then actually go ahead and open the feet about hip width distance. And allow the head to really hang heavy. So find sort of a ragdoll forward fold here. Maybe a gentle sway. Checking in with the hamstrings, with the back. And from here, we're going to come into a twist. So you can open the feet maybe just a little bit wider. So not super wide, but maybe a little bit wider than your hip width distance. And from here, you're going to inhale to lift halfway. So the crown of the head is reaching straight forward. The left hand is going to come right in front of the face. And this is a beautiful place to bring your block back onto the earth so you can really bring the whole palm down. Bring the right hand onto your sacrum, the lower back. Take an inhale to lengthen the crown of the head forward. And as you exhale, twist to the right from the belly, the ribs, the shoulders. See if you can keep the hips relatively even. So if you had a block here on the sacrum where your hand is, the block wouldn't fall off to the side. Trying to keep the hips relatively even. And then extending the right arm up to the sky. Maybe bringing the gaze up towards the right fingertips. And taking one more inhale. Then exhale, release the right hand down. We'll switch sides. So the right hand comes down right underneath the face, left hand onto the sacrum. Inhale to lengthen crown of the head forward. Exhale, twist to the left from the belly, the ribs, the shoulders. And then extending left arm up to the sky, maybe lifting the gaze as well. That feels okay on the neck. If it doesn't, totally cool to keep the gaze down. One more inhale. And then exhale, release hands to the earth. You can set your block aside if you used it. Go ahead and bring the big toes to touch. Inhale, lengthen crown of the head forward, and exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Flat back brings you up, arms lift. Exhale, fold right back down. Inhale, lift the gaze, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, plant the palms and step back into plank pose. Take an inhale here in your plank. Exhale, chaturanga. You can either lower the knees or keep the knees lifted, whatever you need. Inhaling into cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling back into downward facing dog. This is our first downward facing dog of practice. First downward facing dog of the day, so feel free to take any movement that speaks to you here. Pedaling the feet, checking in with the calves, seeing what they have to say about this pose today. And when you feel satisfied with movement, start to find stillness here in this pose. Pressing firmly through all 5 finger pads, keeping the legs really active. So again, imagine pulling that grounded earth energy up through the hands and the feet. And then from here, inhale to lift the right leg up and back. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose. And then from here, quietly step the foot between the hands. Bring the left heel to the earth. We're coming into warrior 2, so heel to arch alignment, lifting the torso. Strong warrior, Arms are really nice and strong. On an inhale, you're going to straighten the right leg, lift the arms to the sky, lifting the gaze. Exhale, sit down into the legs, warrior two. Inhale to lift. Exhale, ground down. One more, inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it down. From here, we're going to come into goddess pose. So you can start to straighten the right leg slightly as you turn the left toes in, and maybe you shorten your stance a little bit. So you're facing the side of your mat, toes out, heels in. Go ahead and sit down into the legs. The arms are going to be cactus arms here. And again, we're going to inhale to lift up high, lifting the arms and the gaze. Exhale, sit down into the legs, cactus the arms. Inhale to lift. Exhale, ground down. One more, inhale, lift. Exhale, come on down. From here, warrior two to the back of the mat. Turn the right foot so that the outside edge of the right foot is parallel to the back, front of your mat. And turn left toes towards the back of your mat. Strong arms. Again, moving with this. Inhale to lift. Straightening left leg, lifting arms. Exhale, sit down into the legs. Inhale, lift. Exhale, ground down. One more, inhale, lift. Exhale, ground into the legs. From here, go ahead and straighten the left leg. Turn the left toes so they're parallel to the right toes. So you want two parallel feet. We're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Hands can come onto the hips. Inhale to lengthen really tall towards the sky. As you exhale, hinge at the hips. Fold over the legs. Hands can come onto the earth in line with the feet if that's available. If the earth feels too far away, you can bring your block underneath your hands as you fold down over the legs. Legs stay super active. So again, imagine suction cups in your feet and you're pulling the energy of the earth up through your legs. On your next inhale, bring hands under shoulders, lengthen the spine. And then walk the hands over towards the right foot to the front of your mat. Plant the palms, take the right foot back into a plank pose, and take a vinyasa here however you'd like to take it. So lowering chaturanga, inhaling to open the chest, and exhaling to downward facing dog. From here, step right foot in between the hands. We're coming into a high lunge, so stay on the ball of the back foot, lift the torso. And from here, we're going to come into a tree pose. So bring hands into heart center, lean the torso over the right leg, shift all the weight onto the right foot. As you bring the left knee in towards the chest, turn the knee out, and find your tree pose. So totally okay to find tree pose here at the ankle with the left toes on the earth, maybe at the calf, maybe you bring the foot all the way up to the inside of the right thigh. Find your drishti point, a single point to gaze at. And feel yourself really grounding down into the right foot. Inhale, I am. Exhale, here fully. Maybe you lift the arms. Maybe you lift the gaze. And then bringing palms back to heart center. Taking the left knee in towards the chest, stepping the left foot way back, finding your high lunge once again. Bring hands onto the earth, and we're gonna hop switch it to the other side. So if you're not ready for a hop switch right now, that's totally cool. You can step the left foot up and then step the right foot back and switch that way. Otherwise, you're gonna tent the fingers. Take an inhale. You're gonna pull the navel up towards the spine as you exhale and hop switch. So get to left foot forward, right leg back, however you'd like to get there. And when you feel steady, lift the torso for your high lunge on the left side. Bring palms to touch at heart center. Lean the torso forward. Use the right toes to shift you forward onto the left leg. Right knee comes into the chest. Open the right leg to the right and find the tree pose variation that works for you on this side. Imagine roots growing out of your left foot, grounding you into this moment. Inhale, I am. Exhale, here fully. Maybe you grow your branches. And then bringing palms to touch at heart center. Bring the right knee in towards the chest. Step right foot way back. Find your high lunge. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring hands to the earth. And you're going to step the right foot up to the left and take a seat. And we're coming into a bridge pose. So coming all the way onto your back. From here, soles of both feet go flat onto the earth. With the arms long next to your body, you should be able to graze the backs of your heels with your middle fingers. So make sure that you're aligned properly. Both feet are parallel. And as you inhale, you're going to press into the feet, lift the hips up towards the sky. You can stay right here. If you feel ready for it, you can start to snuggle the shoulders underneath you and maybe clasp the hands and press the hands, the arms down into the earth so you find a little bit more lift in the hips. Notice if your knees want to splay away out to the sides and hug the legs in towards the midline. Take one more inhale. And then release the hands if you have them clasped. And vertebra by vertebra, bring your spine down to the earth. Open your feet about as wide as your mat and allow the knees to fall toward the right and the left a few times, finding some windshield wipers in the legs. And then from here, hug the knees in towards the chest, give them a loving squeeze. And then roll yourself up into a seat. So find a comfortable seat. If you have your block handy, you can come to sit up on your block. If you'd rather use a blanket or a cushion, you have that handy. Find whatever is most comfortable for you, finding a seat here. Allow the eyes to close, turning the palms to face down on your knees or your legs. Palms down is a gesture of grounding. Inhaling, I am. Exhaling, here fully. Feel your sit bones ground down into the earth beneath you, connecting you to the earth, grounding you in the here and now. Take this sense of grounding with you into your day. When things start to feel a little crazy or hectic or like they're spinning a little bit out of your control, pause and take a big breath. Inhaling, I am. Exhaling, here fully. Bring the palms to touch at heart center. Bowing the head gently towards the hands. Thank you so much for allowing me to lead you in practice this morning. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me here on the mat today. I will meet you right back here tomorrow morning.